Concept of field is now clear to you or not? What a field is, how can you define a field, and the relevant quantities in the field like intensity. So, the word intensity is very common in physics, right? Very common. Can you define physics in terms of intensity? In terms of intensity. In terms of energy? Everywhere there is energy. Without energy there is no physics, right? So, when you tell energy, again that is related to intensity, because intensity is nothing but the energy received per unit area when that area is kept perpendicular to the direction of energy propagation. No energy, no intensity, right? No energy, no intensity. So, you can tell that branch of science which deals with the study of intensity after interacting the energy with the matter. When the energy is interacting with the matter, you will get some intensity, and if you know about that intensity, it is also physics, right? Energy may be in any form: electric, magnetic, optic or light. Any form of energy available to us can be considered in that way, because everywhere there is energy and hence there is intensity. So, you cannot exclude the word intensity in physics. In all branches of physics, you are dealing with intensity, right? All the branches. If you really understand the intensity in all branches, you are understanding the physics properly, otherwise not, right? Similarly, here we are discussing about what intensity? Electric field intensity. If you go for magnetic field intensity. If you go for gravitational field intensity. If you go for light, intensity is very common, right? Sound again common. So, you will never get any topic in physics which is excluding the word intensity, right? And the meaning and definition of intensity is that the amount of energy received per unit area per unit time, but that area must be perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the energy, right? That area, whatever you are considering, must be perpendicular to the direction of propagation, otherwise it is not intensity. So, ultimately intensity is relevant with energy, right? And like that, here the electric field intensity is also in the same way you are defining. When you are telling intensity at a point, what it tells basically? Electric field intensity at a point. What is that? Force per unit positive test charge, right? Whether the intensity word is relevant to energy here or not. Definition is force per unit charge. Force experienced by an positive unit charge at that point is the intensity, right? Then whether the energy is relevant to that in the field or not. Energy is relevant or not in the term intensity. Definition tells force per unit charge, right? Force per unit charge at that point in the field is the intensity at that point. Then how it is relevant with the energy? Obviously, the field is associated with energy. Without energy, there is no field nowhere, right? So, energy must have a link with that intensity. Then how we are linking them? How intensity is related to energy? Let us say, I will just show you here. This is a field due to a positive charge Q here, and this is the field around it, right? If you take a point P here, then you will get the intensity, right? How will you get that? If you put a positive unit test charge, how much force it will experience, that is the intensity at that point, right? It will tell both direction as well as magnitude. It is a vector quantity, force is vector. So, ultimately you are getting the direction and magnitude. How much force it will experience, that is the intensity at that point, right. Then how can you correlate that with energy of the field at that point? How energy is related to force? Tell me first. Force is a vector, energy is scalar, but how can you correlate? Can you or not? Force is a vector quantity, but energy is scalar quantity. So, how can you correlate these two physical quantities? Energy is force dot d r vector. Actually, this is work done and hence energy, right. Work will be done when there is displacement in the field, and that amount of work done is there with that charge at that point, right. See, if you are, if let us say this unit positive test charge will be here, think about it, right. If I will bring it inside, then what will happen? It will experience a force, and that too again repulsive, right, because this is positive charge, that is also positive charge. So, it will experience a repulsive force, try to push it out. When you are bringing it here, you are doing some work, otherwise you cannot bring it, or not. Unless you do some work, you cannot bring that unit positive test charge from one point to another point where you want to get the intensity, right. So, how much amount of work done by that displacement measures the intensity, energy, and if it is for a unit charge, then that is the intensity, right. Then now think about that point, where that point should be, from where to where you will bring it, so that you can tell it is the energy at that point. Yes, because the field is extended up to infinite, right. The field is extended up to infinite. I am showing here which is finite, but reality is infinite. So, when you bring a unit positive test charge from infinity to that point, how much amount of work is done? That is the energy associated with that charge there and called as the intensity, right. How much amount of work you will do by bringing that charge from infinity to that point where you want to get the intensity, right. Work is energy, again measured in terms of intensity, right. Work is energy, but that energy is again measured in terms of intensity. So, intensity and energy are all the time correlated with each other, all the time. You have to find the way how to define it, otherwise they are all the time correlated, right. So, therefore, intensity is very common in physics because energy is common also. Because without energy there is no physics. Physics is the branch where you are dealing with only matter and energy, nothing else. Everything that deals with matter and energy interaction is physics, right. So, when there is energy, when there is matter, there will be interaction, and that interaction is physics. Depending on the kind of interaction, form of energy, they are put in different branches like mechanics, optics, heat and thermodynamics, electricity, magnetism, many. But ultimately the gist of the thing is that there must be matter and there must be energy, and hence there will be interaction, and accordingly the branches are originated. All the branches of physics originated in that way only, right. Without matter energy interaction there is no branch in physics, right. Starting from mechanics to biophysics, cosmology, whatever you may think about, astrophysics, everywhere it is nothing but the interaction of matter and energy. So, in that way here also you are dealing with energy. Matter is obvious because once you are telling a charge, it is matter, it has mass, right. So, matter energy interaction is there also here, and hence you are learning physics out of it. So, now think, when you are bringing a unit positive test charge from infinity to that point, how much amount of work will be done? Can you estimate it? Tell. Let us say here is my reference frame, or the origin is here, origin, and if I will tell from this origin to that point is at a distance of r, right. Then how much amount of work you have to do to bring that unit positive test charge from infinite to that point, which you call as the intensity, right. Same thing is you call as the intensity here. Then how much it will be? What to do? you have to do this integration or not, and the limit will be from infinity to r, right. How much it will be calculated? The limit will be from infinite to r, but do not feel it that the field I have shown here is the field due to the charge. It is infinitely extended, that is why you are bringing it from infinite to that point. So, when you are bringing that unit positive test charge from infinite to that point, how much amount of work will be done? Okay. Yes, of course, you have to tell first what is the force. Force will be k q divided by r square, right. Then this is the force if it is at a point r, right, but you are taking it to infinite, you have to bring it from infinite, then how much force it will experience. If it is at that point, this is the force, right, but you have to bring it from infinite. So, when it is at infinite, what will be the force experienced by that unit positive test charge? 0, right, because this is 0, sorry, infinite. R is infinite means anything by infinite is 0, right. Then when you put it here, then it is this much force it will experience. Unit positive test charge will experience this much amount of force, and that you call as the not force, rather it is intensity or not. There the force is 0 when it is at infinite, but when you are bringing it here, how much force it will experience? This much or not, right. And what you call that? Intensity, right, force per unit positive test charge at that point. You are doing the same thing, right, but by doing it you are you have to consider the path along which it is coming, right. It has to travel a path, and the path is, suppose it is infinite, then it can go in this way, it can come in this way, it can go in this way, many infinite number of paths are possible, right, infinite number to reach at that point from infinity. It can come in any path, right. So, now tell, to reaching there, is it path dependent or independent? Path independent. Then what kind of field it is? Conservative field, right. So, electric field is also a conservative field. If you are doing work which is independent of path between 2 points, right, you are bringing it from infinity to that point or any point to any point, not necessarily from infinity, right. If you are bringing it from infinity to that, there are 2 points, or in between any 2 points in the field also 2 points. So, between any 2 points, if the work done is independent of path, then that kind of function is called as an, or field is called as an conservative field. So, this field is also a conservative field. Electric field is also a conservative field, because it is independent of path. It just depends on the starting point, ending point, from where comes to which comes, that is all. Whatever may be the path, path will never come into picture. You can try, do integration, everywhere you will get it is independent of path. It just depends on the starting point, ending point, that is all, right. So, therefore, you can tell here also the work done is independent of path, and if such field is there where the path, the work done is independent of path, then such a field is called as the conservative field, right. Whatever the field may be, but if you are bringing the charge from one to another point and it is independent of path, then that kind of field is called as the conservative field. So, this electric field is also an example of conservative field, right. Then now think about the other kind of field. What about the magnetic field? This is electric field, right. Similarly, magnetic field is there. What about it? Is it conservative? Gravitational field is there. Is it conservative? Gravitational is conservative, right. Gravitational field is conservative, but what about the magnetic field? That means, if you are integrating, let us say A to B, B dot dl, right, then only you can know whether it depends on the path or independent of path. Here also 2 points are there in the field, but that field is magnetic field. not electric, right. B is the symbol for magnetic field. If E is the symbol for electric field, B is the symbol for magnetic field. So, if you take 2 points A and B and you are bringing a charge, not charge there, what will you bring? Here you are taking unit positive test charge to measure the intensity, but there how will you measure the intensity? Unit north pole, remember that, it cannot be south, unit north pole, pole strength must be 1 and it must be north only, cannot be south. So, if you are bringing a unit north pole to that point, how much force it will experience, that is the intensity which is called as the magnetic field intensity, right. Here it is unit positive test charge, not negative. Similarly, there it is unit unit north pole, means pole strength is 1, right. So, when you bring a unit positive north pole unit north pole from one to another point, how much amount of work is done? Is it depends on path or independent of path? Think over it and then tell whether it is conservative or not. Could you follow me or not? Like electric field, you are bringing it from one point to another point and you are telling that it is a conservative field. Similarly, you try for the magnetic field. You can know whether it is conservative or not. If it is not depending on path, it only depends on the starting point, ending point, then conservative, right. And how will you know? You have to check the integration. Conservative, right. So, these are the examples of conservative field where the work done in the field is independent of path, right. You may go in any way, but it only depends on the starting point and ending point. That is why it is path independent, not depends on the path. And if such thing happens, that kind of fields are all conservative fields, right. So, then now if you are in a electric field, then now tell me what is the basic difference in electric and magnetic field, or they are similar? You know about field now, may it be gravitational, may it be electrical, may it be magnetic, but they are fields and you know the property of the fields, right. You know the property of the fields, they are filled up by field lines, right. They are filled up by field lines, electric field by electric field lines, magnetic field by magnetic field lines, gravitational field by gravitational field lines. So, if you take magnetic field and electric field, then are they similar or different? If different, then in what way? Different, then what way? How we are telling it is different and why? They are always, yes, obviously, because you can never isolate a pole, magnetic pole. If north, there must be south, if south, there must be north, but you can isolate a charge, that is why it is different, right. Charge is due to, electric field is due to a charge, but magnetic field is due to a magnetic dipole. Dipole means whenever there is a north pole, there must be south pole, whatever small amount it may be. Even in case of magnetic atom, atom is also magnetic dipole with north and south, spin is also having north pole, south pole, right. Spin of the electron is also a magnet because it has 2 poles, and you can never isolate north and south. That is why generally atoms are magnetic in nature, magnetic dipole, right. Very rare atoms are not magnetic dipole when they cancel out each other. If you consider for all the electrons available there, because of spin and rotation, magnetic field is created. Somewhere they are cancelled out, but somewhere it is existing. If it is existing, no doubt it is a magnetic dipole. Like that, all the elements available in the periodic table possesses that magnetic behavior, right, magnetic behavior. And therefore, if there is an atom, you can think there is a magnetic field, obviously you cannot neglect, right. You can neglect the electric field for atom because it is neutral, but you cannot neglect the magnetic field, however small it may be. right. So, when you take an atom of any element available in the periodic table, you have to think about both electric as well as magnetic field because of the atom, because atom itself is a dipole. If it has magnetic behavior, obviously it is a dipole, otherwise you can never tell that it is a magnet, right. What is the difference between a magnet and magnetic substance? Can you differentiate? Magnet and a magnetic substance, they are not same, right. Magnet is never be a magnetic substance or vice versa. Its definition is different than other. Then what that difference is? I will give you a material and ask you, tell me whether it is a magnet or magnetic substance. How can you answer? You do not know what kind of material it is, right. Just I am giving a material, tell me whether this material is a magnetic material or a magnet. How to answer? Or magnetic substance or a magnet? It may be a magnet, may be a magnetic material, but how can you distinguish? You do not know what kind of substance I have given, right. Then how to judge yourself to tell yes it is a magnet or it is a magnetic substance? How will you know? Huh? How will you know? Attraction with what? Only one piece of material is given to you. What attraction you are asking? Only one piece, right. Then where you are expecting there is attraction or repulsion? Huh? If it is a magnet, that is the only identification. If you suspend it freely, then obviously it will point towards north and south, because if this is the north direction of the magnet, there should be south pole of earth, magnetic south pole, not geographic, because earth has two kinds of poles, geographic and magnetic, both are not same, right. Geographic pole means the Antarctica, they are geographic poles, but magnetic poles are never there, they are somewhere away, right. So, north pole geographic and north pole magnetic for same earth are not same, they are different. Similarly, south, right. So, there must be a south pole and must be a north pole, magnetic south pole and magnetic north pole. So, obviously, if you suspend a magnet, north pole will attract towards south, south pole attract towards the north. That will tell where there is south pole of earth or where there is north pole of earth, because this is identified, where is north pole, where is south pole, and that is the only identification to tell yes this is a magnet. If it is a magnetic substance, it will never happen, right. If it is a magnetic substance, it will never happen, but if it is a magnet, obviously it will happen. It may oscillate, but ultimately finally it will settle down with two directions, north and south, and that tells that that substance is a magnet, right. So, only suspension in a earth's field will justify whether it is a magnetic substance or not. Take a piece of fiber, just suspend it, right. If it is a magnet, it will point towards north and south after some time, if not it will never come to north and south. Occasionally may come, but it is not sure. If you rotate it again, it will go to some other direction, but for a magnet all the time in that particular direction. So, therefore, the magnet or magnetic substance can be identified with the help of a fiber. Just suspend that substance and see whether it is pointing towards north south only one direction or it changes. All the time it is, if same direction, then obviously it is a magnet. If not, it is not a magnet. So, not a magnet means again what may happen? Not a magnet means non-magnetic, right. Not a magnet means what? But if it is magnetic, again substances have two kinds, magnetic, non-magnetic. Magnet is different, magnetic substance is different, non-magnetic substance is different, right. So, magnet is different, magnetic substance is different, non-magnetic substance is again different, because all the substances are not magnetic. There are few substances which are non-magnetic. As I told you, if the origin from the atom itself is non-magnetic, then obviously the whole substance will be non-magnetic, right, because they are all originated from the atom, may it be molecule or compound or element, but origin is atom. If the atoms are not magnetic, then the substance cannot be magnetic. It is non-magnetic substance, and there are many, right. The net magnetic moment for all the substance cancel out. It is there for every electron, but they cancel out because of direction. If one is in this direction, another in this direction, one is in this direction, another in this direction. So, they cancel out each other, net will be 0, 0 vector, right. If the magnetic moment is a 0 vector, then it is a non-magnetic substance, but if it has magnetic moment, it is a magnetic substance. So, how can you distinguish now? If the magnetic moment is there, it is a magnetic substance, not there, non-magnetic substance, right. So, all these terms, either a magnet or a magnetic substance or a non-magnetic substance, are defined by the magnetic moment, right. They are defined by magnetic moment. So, if suppose for example, I will take a dipole, I will link it with the electric field, that is why I am telling, again magnetism also there, you have to learn it, right. Then it will be easy for me, because I have already explained. So, when there is a magnet with north pole and south pole, let us say, however small it may be, right. Usually for a dipole, you are thinking that the distance between the two poles is very, very small, like atom. In case of atom, you cannot see it, right, but it is there, it is a dipole, right. In case of atom, it is a magnetic dipole. That means, the distance between the two poles there is very, very extremely small, but cannot be 0, right. It is not 0, but extremely small. So, then now if it is the north pole, it is the south pole with pole strength, let us say m, and distance between them is 2l. If you take the center here, L each, right, then what is the magnetic moment of this dipole? How will you calculate the magnetic moment? M times the length vector, do not tell length, magnetic moment is a vector, right. That L I am putting with an arrow, because that is having direction, you cannot take any direction, and that direction is all the time from north to south, right. This direction is always from north to south. So, therefore, the magnetic moment of a dipole is this, right, pole strength times the vector distance between two poles from north to south, cannot be vice versa, right. So, the movement is all the time directed from north to south. So, now if you take a magnet or magnetic dipole, then it has magnetic moment definitely, however small it may be, right. However small it may be, but it must have magnetic moment, but it can never be 0 vector, right. Magnetic moment can never be a 0 vector, however small it may be, but it has magnitude and it has direction, right. Then if I will take a magnetic substance, let us say this is a magnetic substance iron, you know about it, iron is a magnetic substance, right, it is a magnetic substance. So, then whether magnetic moment is associated with the iron or not, you have to tell everything in terms of magnetic moment. For magnet, it is there, iron is a magnetic substance, right, whether the magnetic moment is there or not, it is not there, right, not there, because it is exactly similar, like you are getting what is the resultant if you represent the vectors or the displacements by polygon in case of drift velocity of the electrons in a conductor, what is this? 0 vector, right. Similarly, if you take a magnetic substance, they will form this type of closed loops. So, ultimately it is a 0 vector, right, no magnetic moment, magnitude is 0, because they are represented by the adjacent sides of a polygon taken in one order, right, because every atom of iron is a magnet, magnetic dipole, but these dipoles are so arranged that it will form a closed polygon. Then what is the net dipole moment? 0 vector, right. Like there is, if I will give you a conductor, right, what is the current in it? 0, no current, because there is no drifting, right. Net displacement for all the charges there is 0 vector, no drifting, no current, right. When they will drift, there is current, and the drifting is because of the application of potential difference, right. When you apply potential difference, they will drift, and if they will drift, there is a flow, there is rate of flow, hence there is current, otherwise there is no current. Similarly, if you take a magnetic substance, the magnetic moment of individual iron atoms are there, but the net magnetic moment for all these atoms involved there is 0 vector, right. That means, the net magnetic moment of iron is 0 vector, right. Not for iron, for all magnetic substance, all magnetic substance, the net magnetic moment is a 0 vector, right. Then how will you get the magnetic moment? You have to apply the magnetic field, like potential difference. Why you are applying electric potential difference? To create a field, electric field. Similarly, if you take this magnetic substance in a magnetic field, then it will get magnetized, right. Then it will get magnetized, because the field will compel them to open this loop, and they will be directed with respect to the applied external field. The dipoles are aligned. Suppose this is the direction from north to south, then you will see this is the north, this is the south, the dipoles will be aligned, right. Before that, close, after field, all are opened and aligned. So, once they are aligned, it is a magnet, right. Once they are aligned with respect to the applied external field, then you can tell it is a magnet, but that is induced magnet, not permanent magnet. Induced means with the application of external field, that is why it is induced, but this is permanent. This is permanent magnet, but that is not permanent magnet, it is temporary. So long as field is there, it is a magnet or else magnetic substance, right. So long as field is there, it is a magnet, that is why I am telling it is magnetized with the help of external magnetic field. But if you remove the magnetic field, again they will come to this state. It may take some time, but ultimately it will come to this state. That means again magnetic substance, but not magnet. So, once you are telling magnet, this is a must, magnetic moment is a must, otherwise it cannot be a magnet, right. But if you go for a non-magnetic substance, what happened there? Each and every individual atom of that substance has known are not treated as a magnetic dipole, right. If it is non-magnetic substance, each individual atom of that substance is not a magnetic dipole. So, net will not be considered, there is no dipole, why to go for this type, right. If dipole, then there will be momentum, but if not, not necessary. So, obviously, the net magnetic moment here with the application of field, without application of field, all they are nullified, it has no role at all, that is why it is a non-magnetic substance, right. So, non-magnetic substance means no magnetic moment, magnetic substance means under the influence of external field, that is having magnetic moment. If it is permanent magnet, all the time it has magnetic moment, right. So, the magnetic moment is all the time defining whether a substance is a magnet or a magnetic substance or a non-magnetic substance, right. And it is a vector, you know it, how to measure that vector, what is the magnitude and what is the direction. So, each and every individual atom of all the elements available in the periodic table, you can see in that way, that will tell you which are magnetic, which are non-magnetic. But each individual element must be treated in that way, whether it is magnetic or non-magnetic. And similarly for compounds, what kind of atoms are involved, right. If you think about an atom, so for example, let us say I will tell silver chloride, it is a compound, two kinds of atoms are involved there. First see whether silver is magnetic or not, then chlorine is magnetic or not, then the net movement is there or not. If there are many 3 elements, 4 elements, 10 elements, does not matter. find out the net, right. Like that all the compounds may be a magnet, may not be a magnet. It depends what kind of atoms are involved there, right. So, similarly you have to tell whether a substance is magnetic, non-magnetic or a magnet. Three things may happen, either a permanent magnet if permanent poles, right, or temporary magnet if it is a magnetic substance. Because these poles are not permanent, so long as field is there, the poles are there. Once field is removed, again poles are disappeared. That is why it is induced, right. The poles are induced because of external field, right. But there is another kind of field all the time in electrodynamics comes when there is current, there is a field, right. Around the current carrying conductor there is a magnetic field, right. Then what kind of field it is? It depends on the direction of flow. Current has no direction but conventional direction. Current is a scalar quantity, right. But the conventional direction of current will tell you what is the direction of the field around the conductor, right. Conventional direction means the direction in which the positive charge is going or opposite to the direction in which the electrons are going, both are same, right. Opposite to the electron flow or same as the positive charge flow, both are same, and that is the conventional direction of current. So, the conventional direction of current will tell if the field is there around the conductor, current carrying conductor, then in what direction the field lines are there. Obviously, they are circular, right, they are circular. So, then what kind of field lines these are? There is no starting point, no ending point. Can you find the starting and ending point in that case? And that kind of fields are called as solenoidal fields, right. Like if you go for that kind of field for a closed path, it will obviously how much? 0. Line integration of a vector field for any closed path is vanishing. That tells there is no source, no sink, or it is called as source free field or solenoidal field, right. There is no source, there is no magnetic poles, but still there is magnetic field, right. There is no source here, but still there is magnetic field, and that kind of fields are called as source free field or solenoidal fields. So, when current is there around the current carrying conductor, there will be all the time that kind of field which are called as the solenoidal field or source free field. Because if there is a source, what will happen? Suppose for example, this is a north pole and this is a south pole, then field lines are starting from north, ends in south, right, outside, but inside south to north. So, it is closed. That is the main difference in electric field lines and magnetic field lines. Magnetic field lines are all the time closed, but electric field lines never closed. It starts from positive, ends in negative, right. That is the main difference between electric field and a magnetic field. In case of magnetic field, there is no starting, no ending, because they are closed. From where it will start, again it will end there. But in case of charge, if you take positive and negative charge, all the time starts from positive, ends in negative. They are not closed. The behavior of the field lines in electric field are never closed curves, but if magnetic must be closed curves, and that is the main difference between electric field and the magnetic field. So, obviously, the behavior, nature are all different. So, in this way you can compare now if it is a magnetic field, how it comes, why it comes, what quantities are associated with that to create it, like current. When there is current, there will be a magnetic field, but what kind of magnetic field? Solenoidal or source free. If you take a magnet, there is also magnetic field. So, what kind of magnetic field you are getting? Cause, what is the cause of the magnetic field, right? If current is there, there is a magnetic field, that is source free. If you are taking a magnet, there is also magnetic field, right? But all are having similar nature, that the field lines are all the time closed, may be due to current, may be due to magnet, right? The field lines are all the time closed curves. From where they start, they will end there. So, outside the magnet starts from north to south, inside the magnet south to north, it is closed. So, magnetic field lines are all the time closed, but electric field lines are never closed, right. It starts from positive, ends in negative, never starts from negative to again positive, it ends there. So, therefore, the nature of electric and magnetic fields are different, right, because nature of the field depends on from where it is created. If it is magnet, poles. If it is charge, only one charge, either positive or negative, or maybe dipole also. If you take two charges, that is a dipole, equal and opposite charges, but the nature and behavior can never be resembling with the magnetic field lines, right? Never, because if here is plus q, here is minus q, all starts from like this, but never they go from negative to positive. It will spread throughout the space available, but no line will come from negative to positive. And if it is a magnetic pole north and south, all will come from south to north within that. That is why it is closed, and hence magnetic field is different than electric field, obviously, right. The nature is different. So, then next class we will go for the rest things that I have to tell.